Hello everyone. Goofy here, joined by Clutch. And Clutch, we got a series on our hands here. G2 taking on TSS. G2 coming off a top 6 performance at HCS Orlando. Shocking for a lot of people, but we know the names on this G2 roster. TSS, on the other hand, we know Ace, right? The global champ.
He made it.
Yeah, Ace is here. Ace is always here. And the biggest tournament of the year. We got a great series on our hands. Taking a look at the series layout. Clutch starting things off a recharged Oddball, Slayer Aquarius, Capture the Flag Bazaar, and if we need it, Stronghold Streets, and Game 5 would be Slayer Livefire. So looking at the series layout, looking at these teams, tell me a little bit about what you're thinking.
I'm thinking G2 needs a get-right series, and this is the perfect spot for them to find themselves in. It was a rough performance earlier today, but this is a nice rebound, right? TSS, a team that you should beat, you hopefully will beat in order to get the ball rolling for your world championship dreams and aspirations. And on the side of TSS, they actually qualified outright. They didn't have to play in the play-in bracket, which is something to say about these guys, right? A lot of these guys, it was a question going into Orlando, were they going to make it to the world championship? Well, Ace always finds a way. And if you remember anything about Ace's career, it's that championship he won in Halo 4, that solo championship was here in Seattle, so maybe the city will bring him some luck.
The city for Ace, the global champ. Let's see if he can keep the train going. And starting things off now with Sab going bottom middle right off the bat. They get camouflage in the hands of Super CC. Good shots, excuse me, camo in the hands of G2 as Gilkey now on your screen trying to make his way over to the shock rifle.
The Gilkmeister, he had a solid series earlier today, but you know what he's capable of, Faisal. As a teammate of Gilk's in the past, this is a guy that when he gets a weapon like the shock rifle in hand, when he finds his rhythm, he can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, and like you mentioned earlier, Clutch, this is going to be a good series for G2 to kind of calm the nerves, hopefully, and kind of get their footing once again. Getting top 6 at Orlando is a good feat, but doing that here in Worlds would be such a great feeling. The payout is crazy at this tournament, $1 million on the line, and Gilk here with the shock rifle trying to keep his team's hopes going.
Yeah, you wondered if G2 was ever going to break into the top 4, if they were ever going to create that upset throughout the year. Unfortunately, haven't done so yet. Didn't do it earlier today. And this is an opportunity to potentially gain some momentum and some confidence going into their next couple of series that will be against some of those top teams. But in order to get there, you got to get the work done, and nobody's a pushover here at the World Championship. A player to watch is Straight Sick. He gets taken down, and he's going to be a pivotal piece to G2's success. And speaking of pivotal pieces, the newest addition to this G2 esports roster, Barcode. You'll love the fact that we're going to have an opportunity here to see maybe Barcode shine at his brightest.
There were some questions about the practice schedule of this G2 team, but they've been putting in the work more recently as we see that player get his face peeled off. And the newest member, like you said, Barcode leading the way for this G2 roster, but for the last minute or so, TSS doing a great job as they take the lead early.
Mortal, he was 6 to his name, a familiar name. If you watch the esports arena tournaments, Mortal is consistently playing in those, but hasn't quite made himself a name on the biggest stage in the HCS market yet. But this TSS roster looking to potentially create an upset here in pool play, and what an upset this would be. Already off to a great start. Mortal picking up another one, but more importantly, 2 more members of G2 go down. It's a clean sweep from TSS Esports, and they have the ball in order to gain a significant lead here in round 1.
Morley with that green gun misses onto Sab, and because of that chooses to back down, but gets the assist. 2 members fall for G2. 1 down for TSS as Morley trying to rotate the ball. Good job picking up that kill. Turbine for the killing spree. Opting to leave the ball and just go for some slays. I like this play. 2 members down on each side, but the ball is left a little bit unattended. I thought he had a teammate there, but now he's going to relocate, try to get some ball time.
For this, the Needler, can he get it? Nope. Huss gets taken down. Can't quite find his shield as that engagement with Barcode's going to cost him his life. The ball's still in the hands of TSS for now, but you see the slays starting to favor G2. And as I say that, Mortal picks up another big kill to stop the push from G2 Esports. So a phenomenal job once again of TSS to be able to keep up with the slays of a very individually skilled roster in G2 Esports.
This is a big swing right here for G2, getting a couple important kills in pipes. Now they got the ball in that coveted pipes area. It's so hard to break the setup. You got to get those slays before you can push out Mortally. Now trying to open up the map for his team, putting down shots onto Sab. But Sab's been here. Sab's been around the block a few times. He knows the pushes that this TSS roster is going to try to make. He knows the angles to watch and putting down good damage. Gilkey able to clean one up. Turbine fight's going down. Good grenade there out of us, but teamwork prevails as G2 still in control.
Good aggressive angle from Sad there. Did not expect him to come around that side of the pillars because he plays the situation aggressive. Even though the grenade hits him to no shield, he's able to play his life, and that rewards G2 Esports with a couple of slays. But in the meantime, it has been TSS that are once again picking up some kills, and this is a phenomenal sign for anybody rooting for TSS in this series, because I didn't know how this series was going to go to kick off, Basil, but the fact that they've started this round one so highly contested, even with the lead, says that this series could go the distance.
Yeah, on paper, if you look at these teams, I think most people would pick G2 to win the series, but this TSS team is here for a reason. Like you said, they made it outright into this into pools. They didn't have to play in yesterday. They are a really solid, well-rounded team, as we're watching a couple members for each side go down. Mortally with the shock rifle, barely misses that player who makes his way into Turbine. Expect to push now into Pipes as Sab takes down that shock rifle player in clutch. I'd love to go into a listen in with TSS.
We're spawning them, okay?
Going red, guys. Bottom A, guys, shoot him. Go bottom A. Help me top red, help me top red.
Yo, red, trippy.
Walk A with me, bro. He won't expect this.
I didn't
Try
trippy. 2 turbine to batteries.
It's gonna reset in 2 seconds.
Yeah, they're getting grappled.
Don't die.
I'm stuck.
They're gonna grapple it.
You need to help him, I think.
One shot Seeker, sniping.
Top A.
Down one shot. Guys, they have snipe disruptor. One ball now. Snipe boom, Trippy, snipe Trippy. Gotta kill him.
Watch out, blue box.
Kill Trippy.
Sam Trippy, yeah, Shock's still there. He's still in B box. And slow it down, wait for each other. Look at our lead.
There you go, bad ledge. Oh, guys, Trippy, long guys.
Yep.
This guy Trippy, he's stuck there.
He's here, bro. Watch out.
One shot,
He's gonna drop
Trippy.
mid. He's gonna drop mid.
Dropping blue box now.
Dead.
Nice.
Top A, top
Alright,
A.
look at A now, look at A.
Two ball, one top A.
Yeah, I'm pushing in red.
Pushing.
Barcode.
Pushing red.
Let's go.
Watch their out,
Yeah,
watch
he has
their out.
he has combo. Watch out, top red. Traded. Nice.
Give ball, Chase. Give ball. Give ball.
Last guy was fresh. Last guy was
Bottom red, he's bottom red, top red now.
Okay, 1v1.
Oh, no, we're gonna kill this kid. You go away.
You might have to rotate C.
I
You might have to rotate
died.
C.
No damage.
Yeah, I spawned tower. I spawned tower, Chase.
Sliding
I'm gonna fight
towards
my
you.
guy.
Camo and 20.
I'm gonna die, guys.
Yeah, Aaron's gonna
Camo and
die.
20, guys.
I got my guy. I won my 1v.
Sorry. Bottom tower, 2 McCat. Bottom tower, 2 McCat. One go nail pit. 2 bottom tower.
Camo and 15.
I needed
Camo
this.
Not today.
Bottom tower is still one.
Listen, guys, camo.
When?
Camo and 5.
Great comms out of TSS. You hear their leader, Ace, guiding the troops. Great small talk, great communication as this one's all tied up, essentially towards the closing rounds, or closing seconds of this round number 1. Big double kill out of Ace. 2 members fall for G2. These are some really important kills at a pivotal moment in this round. Another kill for Ace, so cleaning out this entire Turbine elevator area single-handedly.
Ace with the most kills in the lobby right now at 14. You got Barcode on the other side doing the same amount of damage. The difference is Mortally with 12 aside, and the ball time is starting to favor TSS as the closing moments of this game, or this round 1, I'm sorry, continues to take down. Just 12 more points to go for TSS, and they will find themselves at least the winners of round 1 for now.
Few more seconds. Elevator getting pressured though. Barcode trying to stop this round 1 loss. Good job making that player drop the ball. Super CC in a tough spot as Straysick takes him down. Now shock rifle in the hands of Gilkey, and Clutch, this one's far from over as now TSS, the pressure's on. You got to break this setup, and I expect them to try to push control over towards that elevator area, and we're going to see this fight break down here shortly.
One big mistake from TSS, they don't play the ball in that situation. They leave it top elevator, they lose the slays, and it's given G2 this perfect setup of elevator. Now it's coming down to the last round of slays. The first pick goes to G2. They follow with 3 of their own. It's a 3-1 trade on the side of G2 Esports. The ball's still in elevator, and now one last player to say anything about round 1 is taken down, and G2 clutch up.
What a series of events there for G2, stealing that round where they had no business winning it, and to your point, Clutch, not playing the ball, not getting it out of elevator cost TSS, and that one's gotta hurt.
It's gotta, right? You felt like you were in control of that entire round. TSS looking like the better team for 98% of the round. Unfortunately, you gotta close the door. They don't. They make one pivotal mistake. It cost them the first round. And will that be something they look back on their world championship run and regret? We'll have to find out. We're in the action of round 2. Sab's trading out, but it is TSS that had the benefit of the slice so far in this round.
The biggest stage of the year, Halo World Championship. Now is not the time to make mistakes or to lose a close round or a game. You got to clutch up, and like you said, Clutch, we'll see if that comes back to bite him. Good job. Ace taken down, Straysick and Pipes. 2 members for each side fall. Now Huss in trouble.
A lot of pressure on Huss. He's able to get a trade. A big trade is that. It's going to at least momentarily delay the opportunity. G2 would be able to have the ball. But Barcode with the better positioning, top red right now, needs to stay alive. He's going to have pressure from the respawners over towards elevator, but he has that information. He does such a good job to back Ace down, and now G2 should be able to gain a momentary lead, at least at the start of round 2.
Nice little ball toss up to Barcode. Opts to choose, drop the ball, pull out that shock rifle, but goes down. Great pressure onto that shock rifle player. Gilkey and Barcode both out of the equation right now. Sab left alone in batteries, trying to be sneaky, and let's see if it pays off.
And you find the entry. Unfortunately, a grapple player shuts him down. CC with the big kill, followed by one from Mortally with the shock. It's Ace that picks up the third. It's a clean wipe outside of straight sick on the side of G2 Esports. TSS once again starting off very strong here in round 2.
So much pressure on the map right now as Ace is just running around so freely. Mortally with the shock rifle and a nice little cushion in round number 2. Ball is just in a central location right now. Nice snipe. Mortally, that could be the opportunity, the opening that TSS needs to get this ball into a more safe area. I think he hit that body onto Barcode. Not able to get the kill though, as 28 and counting for TSS, and they're doing a fantastic job just getting these picks on G2 as they're trying to individually push, and it's not working.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Ace was able to get the ball into a safe place, so it is going to be a significant lead now once again for TSS here in the second round, needing to push this to a round 3 now with an expectation of winning game 1. They look like a very strong team, Faisal. This is not something I really expected out of TSS, and you love to see players play at their best here at the championship. We're seeing the best of TSS yet.
Big kill on the Gilkey to even that scoreboard. 3 members fall though for TSS. Last one alive is Ace. Barcode gets caught a little bit slipping. That ball is bottom middle as they're rotating here back towards blue, and Super CC is trying to say something about that. Gets a couple players weak with that grenade, and the ball does get played.
Good play ball. I love that play by him. He did not have numbers. He did not have the help. He doesn't go for the slays. He doesn't try and play his life. He gives his life for the objective reset, plays the ball off the map, and that eliminates a potential blue setup that G2 Esports would have had.
Carrier kill.
Ball has been played, still down in batteries. Barcode knows he's got to get a few kills before he can get the ball moving, and loses that battle. Straight sick now on your screen here, and Pipe runs up against Huss. Perfect shots.
Perfect.
Straight sick. He got a best shot emote in his Twitch stream. He's had a good shot for as long as I can remember, and we see it here.
It's about time he started catching fire at one of these tournaments. We know Straight Sick's capable of it. A lot of these players on G2 Esports have such a high ceiling. None of them really able to put it together all at the same time, but what a moment that would be if they're able to find some level of consistency there this weekend, but already falling short, needing a win here in pool play. Eyes focused on TSS, and they need all attention on TSS right now as they are getting everything TSS can throw at them. 47-25 the score here in round 2. G2 did win round 1, but TSS looking very strong in round 2 as well.
You got to be careful too if you're TSS. You don't want to make the same mistakes you made in round 1 where you start off strong and then slowly but surely G2 just holds on and able to finesse the win towards the end of the round. But good shots out of Mortally, taking down Barcode. Straight Sick there to get the trade. Huss trying to avenge his teammate, but good trade there out of Straight Sick. Had no business getting 2 of them, and now we got Sab over here with the ball, and just like that, they're about to, G2 has taken the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Sab understands that there's going to be pressure coming from the glass area side of the map. Unfortunately, he loses 2 teammates, and now it's the ball carrier Faisal. You know this is a tough position to be in. He drops it. He tries to slay. Unfortunately, that player has grapple, making himself a difficult kill. Ace gets a melee even on what should have been probably an easy pickup for Sab. It's a little bit more difficult. Now we'll see how Sab's able to play his life. Fortunately, somehow gets out of dodge, making it look chaotic as can be, and you have to think the last second of that life could have been used a little bit stronger, and because Sab goes down, can TSS capitalize on those slays?
Barcode moving the ball into Pipes. Ace is the only member on TSS that can say something about it, but Gilkey, the man with the plan, has got the shock rifle, and we know what he can do with this. He takes down Mortally as well. 3 members fall for TSS, And after, once again, a rocky start in the round, it's all G2, and they are catching their stride right now.
Gilk starting to heat up, a couple of kills in the kill feed, so Sab did a good job of staying alive throughout that chaos, making his life a little bit more difficult. It's transitioned into G2, being able to capitalize here. Shock rifle in the hands of Gilk. Wants to contest this camo. He's going to do it him damn self as he gets the kill, activates camo. Can't quite activate it though. And look at this, Super CC slides in, he picks it up, and unfortunately just a moment is all Gilk needed to activate that camo. G2 do a good job to negate that camo from impacting the rest of the game. However, they take down CC.
You got to play perfect Halo from here on out if you're TSS. One more setup for G2, and they will go up 1-0 in this series. And we talked about G2 being more of a favorite here, but TSS is looking really good so far in game one. There's just a few mistakes are costing them dearly. Hus trying to use that grapple to get out of harm's way, but gets taken down as 2 members fall for TSS. This could be an opportunity for G2 to close this out.
They have the ball. Can they get it into a safe spot? There's pressure from C-Plat. Gilk doing a good job to anchor for his team. Gonna get some great damage. A lot of information as well. And this ball in such a difficult spot, they're not gonna get there. They get the last few points, and G2 do it. They punch their ticket on game one. They take the lead in the series. It wasn't easy, it wasn't pretty, but the good job gets done. And they will have a moment to breathe before this game 2 Slayer.
And I can't help but think back in that round number 1. The way that round ended, casting it, I thought it was all over. I thought TSS was going to win that round and put themselves in a good position, but we saw the mistake that ended up costing them dearly, not getting that ball out of elevator. Went 4 dead, spawned blue, tried rotating control towards elevator again, and G2 shut it down.
I understand not playing the ball in that situation, like holding that setup, leaving the ball in that situation, but you have to get the slays behind it, right? You have to figure out a way to get the kills on the players that are coming bottom and top elevator across catwalk and bottom catwalk, right? They were unable to do so. They got pressure from Turbine as well, so they didn't have any space to work with. The angles were too much. You lose those slays and you lose the game. That's pretty much how it goes. A lot of these games this weekend are going to be decided by a couple of kills. 1 round of slays. Unfortunately, TSS on the back end of those slays in that first round.
And this is it. Game number 2, Aquarius Slayer. You do not want to go down 2-0 if you're TSS, so I expect them to come out scrappy in this game. And if they can win that opening start, get camo, get some control, get some spawn kills, things can start snowballing in their favor. But of course, G2 is here to try to make a statement.
It's a big if, because on the side of G2, I feel like Slayers are where this team are going to make their money this weekend. They have such good individual skill, and typically when you limit the objective as just being kill the other team, the strategy becomes a little bit easier. It becomes a little bit more predictable for them to make the right play. G2 and what would be maybe some difficult objective game types against some of the better teams in the world, the Slayers, they usually stick around.
Now we're seeing these player shots on the featured station here at the Halo World Championship. Still a long way to go this weekend as we're just in the early stages of pool play. And so far, nothing crazy in the pools, no upsets really just yet, but I do expect to see a little bit of shakeups in the pool before we get into bracket plays. Looking at the map layout here, you got the camouflage, and really it's gonna come down to just rotations and spawn trapping, and both of these teams are gonna be playing scrappy right off the bat.
We'll see how they choose to play at Barcode. Maybe not the loudest game 1, but the job got done nonetheless. Tries to push top car. Beautiful nade from Hus. Wins the opening duel against Barcode, and with that, hopefully TSS can get off to the right foot.
Straight sig with the heat wave. Gets the back smack, gets taken down. 3 down for TSS. Last player, Hus has camo, and he gets melted. So a bit of an even start with camo negated. Neither team has the upper hand, but G2 currently with the shock, with the heat wave.
It's Gilk Duds. He's got 3 to his name. It's a 4-3 lead for G2 Esports here, and Gilk wants to be aggressive, but as he's knocked to no shield, knows he's got to wait. Map control is the name of the game on Aquarius, and we're seeing Gilk play this pink side of the map. He's got thrust and heat wave, and a trade is not what you want to see if you're a G2 Esports fan. TSS get all 4 down. A phenomenal job of pushing out of blue there.
This is what we're talking about. The 4 down on Aquarius Slayer can be very costly if you're on the other side. Fortunately for G2, TSS not in a position to really capitalize.
A lot of pressure still on TSS here. You want to see, can they get some map control? Can they use it to their advantage to potentially push a lead here? G2 not giving them that map control. And it's so difficult to try and fight for space on a map like Aquarius, especially when you're trapped in some of these bases. And right now, G2 have that middle of the map control, and you're seeing Sap go to work.
Yeah, and really, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Sap. Just the fact that TSS is trapped in his base and Sap knows it. He's the type of player that's going to put the pressure on when he can, and he thrives in the chaotic game, the chaotic style of this map right now. And we see Sap 2 kills already, 3 assists, and just doing damage on the side of TSS.
Camo's up. Gilk's got control, but waiting for the opportunity to go forward. He's going to leave it behind for his teammates. Going to apply pressure. A beautiful shock grenade gets him a first kill. The second is a nade one-shot, and the closet control of TSS starting to dwindle now as they lose members. They're going to have to back up, and this is G2's opportunity to really push their advantages here now that they have camo.
Gilk waiting for those dynamo grenades, picks up a couple, finds a one-shot mortally easy kill onto him, takes him down, trying to find the double, but no one there. Spot Super CC and just running around bottom middle right now. Gilkey knows that his team has the advantage in this series, and they have an advantage in this game as well. We're constantly seeing TSS trapped in bases.
Yeah, look at this.
And G2 thrives off the chaos. Gilkey, foot on the gas, looking for 2, picks them up, and all 4 dead for TSS. A little bit of a smack, a little bit of a disrespect out of Gilk.
Gilk's starting to feel himself 9, 2, and 3 right now. He's +6 and looking to push that number to an even higher opportunity. Cycling the dynamo grenades once again. We've seen Gilk now with 3 sets of dynamo grenades wreaking havoc on the enemy team, and got a player right in front of him, doesn't know it. It passes like ship in the night, but
oh my,
still somehow stays alive. The teamwork from G2 starting to show out. They flipped the map again, and this is starting to get ugly. Faisal, the lead up to 10.
And you called it, Clutch. This G2 team, the Slayers, will be in their favor in a lot of series, and 26-16, a great cushion at the halfway point of this game number 2. You know G2's trying to go for that clean sweep.
They need to find some momentum here this weekend. That momentum gets shut down. 4 dead for G2 somehow. TSS fight finally out of the disadvantageous spots. They're down 6 now, though. They need to continue this. They have some map control to play around. The heat wave as well in the hands of Ace. But they have to start putting this advantage to work because G2 have done a good job to get out quickly.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we see TSS, when they go 4 dead, tend to just turtle up in their base. G2 going 4 dead immediately pushes out of the base, understanding the importance of not getting trapped in the base. And because of that, they're still comfortably in the lead here. Mortally putting out some good shots in the barcode. 1 member down for each side. Huss gets a kill of his own. And now fight's going down towards his Dynamo side as Mortally trying to find some kills top middle. Spots barcode, good assist onto him, and this could be an opportunity for TSS to close this lead. As Sab is stuck in a bit of a compromised position, but Straight Sick there to help out.
Mortally gets called off, can't quite hit the shots, and because of it, no damage done to Sab. He's able to create a little bit of space, relieve a little bit of the pressure from that potential push on TSS, and like we keep iterating, it's the difference in 2 tails when you have map control. What can you do with it? If you hesitate at all, Faisal, you get punished, and right now TSS showing a little bit of hesitation. And that hesitation goes a long way in the score right now. 34-24, still a 10-kill lead for G2.
Straight taking a great position, top middle, able to pivot any which way, and now drops on over, gets that kill on a Super CC, and I'd love to go to an Astro listening with G2, feeling good right now, up by 11 kills.
Nate's dropping now, Chris.
I got him.
Nice job.
Wait, there's gotta be shrooms.
On you, close. And on your base.
Yeah.
Red flag, red flag.
Yeah, red flag.
I left flag.
You have help out.
He's 1 shot on me. He's absolute. He's absolute. On the
Flanked.
shrooms. In between. Nice. He's absolute. Nice. Good work.
Go, Brett, close it. I got you, Chris.
Camo in 25.
Yeah, he's there. Ace, I shot him once. He has a
stuck. They're stuck.
There's 1v1. I'm coming.
You wanna push this? Watch me.
Yeah. I'm
Get it. Push him.
Yeah.
Pitch car.
Okay, nade.
2K3 on the tunnel. One's going blue side.
Super CC, 2 1 SD wave, 2 on Chris.
Yeah, Huss is on the car jumping. This guy.
Which other max? Absolute in the tunnel. Absolute in the red tunnel.
2 nades are
Shot
up.
1 mid when we spawn.
Nades
One
are up
shot.
and camo.
Watch your 10.
One shot card 3.
One shot card 3.
Yeah.
Oh, one chasing.
Yeah, that's up. This guy red Jutsu.
He's on the car camo.
Yeah, he's 1 shot. Red break as well. 1 shot. Yeah, I'm looking.
One hit blue card. I got him.
Yeah, I'm
Watch out for you,
looking.
Chris. Dead.
Nice.
Watch out, this guy.
Alex, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm moving. There's 2 there. Last 2. Yeah, Prep weak as fuck. I'm coming.
Both one.
Flying with you.
Shrooms, both one. Shrooms, one.
Nice job, Chris.
Up for red as well.
Yeah, he's 1 shot. Huss.
I
On
died.
the
I
brick.
burnt camo.
3 on me.
Coming 7.
I got him. Another one. Last guy in the flag. Last guy's in the flag.
Nades
One
are
hit.
up 5.
Dead.
Two nades.
I tried.
Hey,
Bit of a hectic comms out of G2, but that's what we're talking about. That's what these guys thrive off of. They wear their heart in their sleeve, and their comms are showing it, but the scoreboard speaks for itself. 45-34. Good job burning the camo out of Gilk.
The comms were chaotic, like you said, and it works when you have the lead, when you're playing against a team that maybe not creating as much chaos in the game. But you worry if that's what the comms are like against top teams. But for now, it's working. The Dynamo grenades are working as well. Frying 2 players, 48-35. 2 kills to go. G2 know where they are. They need 1 now as they flip the map once again.
1 more kill and G2 will be up comfortably 2-0 in the series. Gilkey smells the blood. He knows he's close to a sweep right now and just trying to find the last kill. Runs into Mortally with the pistol out. Once again, the disrespect out of Gilk Dud. Meleeing bodies all game long, feeling good. And it looks like they're going to be taking a bit of a bathroom break as the headphones come off typically after game 2. Players hop on over, take a quick break, but 2-0 lead, you got to be feeling good if you're G2.
Throw the shoes on if you're Gilk. The shoes come off when you're playing? That's a...
Some players are no shoes kind of players.
What were you?
I'm a shoes on type of guy.
Yeah, I don't want to smell my teammates' feet. So that's the only thing I'm saying. So keep your shoes on if you stink. I don't care how good you're playing. At the end of the day, though, Gilk, he could do what he wants at this point. He was taking over game 2, a phenomenal statistical performance by him. Wishing we could take a look at the stat page right now as he continuously got kills. He started the game at 9-3, and when you're able to do that, it's an unbelievable momentum boost to your team. That's like, once you feel that momentum on the map, it gives the rest of the team so much life.
Looking at the scoreboard, Gilk, like we talked about, fantastic performance out of him. +9, 16, and 7 with 5 assists as well. And Sab right there with him, 15 and 8. So a couple of big performances on the side of G2. And Clutch, we haven't emphasized it enough, but if you get last place in your pool here on Friday, then you're done for the weekend. So a really big series for G2, and they knew that coming into this. And Gilkey, right, getting his team hyped up, meleeing bodies. He understands the importance of this game, and talk to me about the damage.
Big series for both these two teams. As we take a look at the damage, the 4K out of Sab is the one that sticks out the most, a player that's probably pretty underrated here in the HCS, but I've been preaching his name all year long. This is a guy that I really feel like has maybe not got the best placings in his career, but when I watch his gameplay, it is consistent shots with consistent decision making that I love. So love to see Sav having a big performance there. You want to see those kind of numbers as they approach the bigger series in his tournament, because Sab is one of those guys that's really going to take off. It's just a matter of time. Definitely.
In my opinion, he's the type of player that just causes chaos in the map. We've used that word countless times already in this series because you can't help it when you're watching G2. And I've teamed with Gilkey. I've wanted to vent with the guy, and I understand the play style that he enjoys, and all these teammates bring out the best in each other. On the other side, though, we got to talk about TSS, down 2-0. We talked about it. If you're last in your pool, you're done. So what do you got to do going into this game 3?
I'm not sure there's much you can do. G2 is the flat-out better team, right? If you want to talk about the pool as a whole, unfortunately, G2 is not even the 1 seed, so you're probably looking at a series against that open bracket team. I can't quite remember who it was. It might have been Complexity that came through and was put into this pool, but overall, if you're TSS, you want to do something to build some momentum and gain some confidence going into that other series, right? Because this is going to be a monumental task to try and ask them to come back here. It's possible. They have some veterans on their team. They're making some solid plays, but it's going to be so difficult for them to try and fight back in this series. And as a player, you're starting to think of how can we get to Saturday? I don't know if the best road is through G2 down 0-2.
No, definitely not. I just heard in my ear that Fnatic is in fact the team that made it in the play-in and will be in this pool along with G2 and TSS. So not even if you lose a series, if your TSS is not over, but G2's got to be feeling good right now as looking at the series layout. We got Capture the Flag, Bazaar next, and I'm smelling a 3-0. I don't know. Will TSS prove me wrong?
I feel like that first round was everything for these guys. The second that they lose it, it's like you did everything so well and still lost. Asking to try and replicate that level of success, that level of good decision-making, great plays being made, and still not being able to find a win condition in there, that's a tough pill to swallow. And in game 2, it got ugly, right? That was a game that G2 built a lot of momentum. You see the body disrespect from Gilk. You see the confidence starting to rise. The map control was in G2's favor just about the entire time. you lost even opportunities when you did have map control if you were TSS to push those into any type of an advantage to keep the game close. Game 3, Bazaar CTF is one of the most difficult map mode combinations to find success with the objective. I expect G2 to run away with this series and call this one a quick 3-0. On the side of TSS, though, it's got to be the overshield, the rockets that you have to control in order to find some opportunities to have any success. If you give those away like you did in Game 2, you can basically write this one off, and you look forward to a series with Fnatic to decide if you even play on a Saturday.
And that's a position you don't want to be in, backs against the wall so early in the weekend. But you mentioned it, Clutch. I think the biggest things to look out for in this upcoming game number 3 is going to be the control of the power weapons and the power up, the rocket and the overshield. And it all starts with that opening push. When I was a player myself, that was the most. I would go into every custom game with my team, practice our opening starts, practice the grenades, practice the routes, because it's so important. In Halo Infinite, you get punished if you start off slow, and especially in a map like Bazaar, you go down 1-0. The other team can almost play defense for the rest of the game, and we see a 1-0.
We've seen it.
We've seen it countless times. So the opening start will be really important. Which team can get the rockets, which team can get the overshield, and not just get them, but get them and progress on the map.
A big thing for me is, can TSS find a way to get that first cap? Like you're saying, if you do, and you get to play from the lead, you can potentially push this to a game 4. But if you go down 1-0 in this game at any point in time, that weight, that pressure starts to build up. The thought of trying to reverse sweep a team, let alone catch up to them on Bazaar CTF, is such a difficult task to ask of these guys.
Fresh off a top 6 performance at HCS Orlando, G2 looking to continue their run here at Halo WC. Looking at the map, Bazaar captures the flag. We talked about the overshield. We talked about the rockets, and there's a bulldog as well. There's a lot of sandbox to work with commandos. These pro players make that gun look so steady back in my day. But now when I use that thing, it's all over the place.
Yeah, well, you're not in your prime anymore, Faisal. I hate to be the one to tell you that. And luckily, we didn't really have to deal with too much bloom back in our prime. So balancing all the different values and the assets of these weapons is another difficult skill set they have to master. But speaking of masters of some of those skill sets, Barcode is an absolute weapon with the commando in hand. We saw it in the online super for this kid, and we'll see if he can put on a showcase for us now. But as he loses multiple teammates, it's 3 that go down for G2. Gilkey not in the strongest position here on screen, and because of that, you have to favor TSS off the break once again.
Flag taken.
Early flag pull on the side of TSS.
This could be massive.
An overshield as well, so the flag pull comes from the overshield player, but Gilkey doing a great job just baiting him, and Straightick able to clean up the kill, but not actually cleaned up just yet, as there you have it. Straightick takes down the overshield player, to 2 members down for each side, but big shout out to Gilk right there staying alive and basically baiting that OV.
It looks so promising for TSS for just a moment, but yeah, that damage on the OS from the bar where you don't even expose yourself in order to give up a life. Everything G2 needed to play strong defense to deny that flag cap from going in. So as well as TSS played the first 45 seconds of this map, it was all for naught. Defense stands strong, and you need to do more to be able to get a cap here on Bazaar.
Barcode a little lost there, gets taken down by the Bulldog. Mortally able to push all the way across the map. Great shots on the stab, takes him down. Trying to stay alive here in front of the base. He's such an important player right now. You know all the members of G2 are calling him out. And just like that, a grapple by Super CC, and both members of TSS and the base of G2 make that, that player elbow able to get out of there. So that's going to be huge, and TSS needs to worry about this OE.
Yeah, there's 3 players that have respawned bottom shotgun, including the one that stayed alive. They have to figure out a way to stop this cap. The Slays come through, though, for TSS. They get a couple. It's a 4-on-2 with the flag in the middle of the map. Surely TSS can figure out a way to punch this one in. A beautiful job by CC to stop, to slay, and play for overshield. It's going to allow them to pick up a couple more kills, but more importantly, deny overshield control, keep the flag on the move, and TSS have done it. They are going to take a 1-0 lead here momentarily, I think.
That flag still in that middle point, as Super CC opted to just get the Slays with the overshield, and that could come back to bite them. And no, that Three
does this
down for
happen?
TSS, and the flag did not get past the double doors.
Unbelievable that they don't get that flag through with those slays, the overshield activation. You think it's got to be already on the move through the double doors. Someone somewhere stopped that flag from moving, and they made a phenomenal play in order to do so. We didn't see it on screen, but that flag should have 100% been in TSS's favor, and now we're going to see if they once again get punished off the back end of a mistake.
3 down for G2. Straight Sig, last member alive, spots Ace in the tree, able to get the kill without trading, so big play out of Straight Sig, last member alive, and this could be an opportunity once again. The flagpole comes out for G2 as Straight Sig in a great position to just be a nuisance. I don't expect this fight to get too far as the members of TSS are going to sniff him out, but just doing a great job allowing his team to push up.
Buying a lot of time, right? That flag had no chance of being on the move, but what he does do is he pulls 2 players back. Unfortunately, G2 will lose all 4 members, but they don't have an opportunity to get a flag immediately. They're going to have another opportunity to try and defend this push, but just like that, the respawners, they've been taken care of as well. TSS get another round of slays. They split the spawners up, and Sab and Barcode have to figure out a way to deny or delay this cap from going in, or it's going to get on the move past the 50 here.
Ace running the flag as fast as he can. Morley in a great position, putting down shots, doing so much damage, and the overshield will be spawning as well. Easy kill, gets an assist. This is going to be a flag cap for TSS, and they're going to be first on the board. The question is, who's going to get the OV?
Overshield up, Mortally kept control of the middle of the map as the flag goes in, so TSS doing a much better job here of controlling the power-ups and the power weapons here in Game 3. They're rewarded with the 1-cap lead, and already 7 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. Faisal might sound like a lot of time, but on a map like Bazaar, you never know how that clock continues to dwindle down. How long will TSS be able to keep this advantage? They get all 4 dead again, and TSS won a 2nd cap. They're being aggressive. They're in the base. They're going to force spawners outside, and they're going to get another opportunity on the flag on the move.
The most impressive part about that cap is the fact that they kept control the whole time, and now they got another flag being pulled. Super CC gets the kill. Huss putting down shots, double doors, 2 members down for G2, and it could be a back-to-back cap opportunity for TSS.
Barcode trying to get a touch, but Huss does a great job to keep track of where Barcode is, but Barcode with the shots, the strafe, the movement to win that 1v1. Unfortunately, it's not enough. TSS, the reinforcements are here. The damage has been done. The flag has been punched in. They take a 2-0 lead, and they will stay in this series with 6 minutes and 45 seconds left. They can push this series to a Game 4. Up 2 caps on Bazaar. You are sitting pretty if you're TSS.
Maybe Gilkey was smacking bodies a little bit too early. We've seen it time and time again come back to haunt the players that show disrespect before it's over. Killing spree out of Ace. 2 members down once again for G2. Gilkey gets a big kill though, trying to weather the storm. There's another flag being pulled, so got to be careful right now. Gilkey staying alive, trying his best. Super CC spots him, takes him down. That's Huss. A couple members from both sides falling.
Look at the slays on the side of TSS right now. 15 for CC, 14 for Ace. Mortal, he's got 10. Nobody on G2 breaking double digits, and that's why
the flag is moving.
This has been such a dominant showing. Right now, Barcode trying to defend, but he can't delay the push right now from TSS. They get the slays once again, and as overshield's up, it's up to Straight Stick to try and deny this one from going into the hands of TSS, but he can't do that. His position's compromised right now, and although that overshield is still up, a flag cap does come through for G2. I guess he does enough, and as that flag somehow gets punched in, we see a player drop from the lobby, and you have to wonder how much of an impact that had on that flag.
Yeah, it looks like technical difficulties here as a player on the side of TSS gets kicked from the game, but that game was all about TSS. Even though G2 was able to scrap that first flag and put themselves on the board, TSS was the ones that was leading the way with the slays and really controlling the map.
They were dominating Game 3, right? And you wonder what a reset does potentially to the mindsets of G2. That gives them an opportunity to catch their breath, get back into it, and what that will do to the momentum we saw TSS gain there.
Yeah, no, it's never, if you're the team winning and you have to end the game, it's always a really annoying feeling. So if you're TSS, you were gaining some momentum, it was looking good for you, and then we run into some technical difficulties. So we'll see how TSS rebounds, right? That's another part of a skill set to have, to stay composed, and we'll see what they can do to try to close out game number 3. But they're still alive in this series and still alive here in the game, as well as I don't know if I'll expect to see all the way to a Game 5, but if it's anything like Game 3, we got a treat in our hands.
TSS not done yet, but we'll see if they can close the door on Game 3, especially with the map reset like that. You know they're going to have an advantage of a cap or so. It's just a matter of where did the person lag out? How much time are we going to throw back on this clock? And what can G2 do to kind of rebound off the poor performance so far in Game 3? We'll get a ruling here shortly, but more importantly, the situational momentum you lose if you're TSS, right? Like, you felt in control of that game at all times. Not every time are they going to start the game up and feel that rhythm, that map control that they had. I'm hoping that they can get it back because I want this series to go the distance. I'm sure the fans do as well. TSS showed us some life. And what we had talked about going into the game, what could they do to potentially give them hope to go up against Fnatic and find themselves a series winner, or even come back in the series alone? That was what we needed to see from them.
Yeah, and look at the series layout. Don't let the score fool you. That Game 1 was very winnable on the side of TSS. So this could have been a 1-1 game going into that game number 1-1 series, excuse me, going into that game number 3. But of course, at the end of the day, it's the score, the final score that matters. And this is great for TSS if you're a fan of this team, as they look great on Bazaar, captured the flag, and they want to punch their way into at least a game number 4 on Stronghold Street. So we'll see, like you said, Clutch, how they're going to rebound after a bit of a hiccup. I expect them to come out strong once again, but we talk about the opening starts. You never know if TSS goes 3-4 dead, G2 gets rockets, OV starts pushing. It could be dangerous.
I'm hearing in my ear that it's going to be a 2-cap lead.
Ooh. Okay.
For TSS. So G2 with 8 minutes on the clock is going to make a 2-cap differential if they want to close this series out in 3. It's going to be first to 3 caps on the side of TSS. G2 needs all 5. So that last cap had to have been decided because the player disconnected.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. They had map control. They were fighting for the overshield as well. You were wondering why that flag wasn't being hopped on for the return. Probably helps to have all 4 players in the lobby. We'll get that lobby back up here shortly, and as we do, TSS going to have 8 minutes of defense, or do you think that they're going to be aggressive?
You're feeling good. If you're TSS on Bazaar, captures the flag up 2-0, honestly, just don't totally drop the ball. Don't drop the ball and just go for it down right off the bat. At least burn overshield or make sure the rockets get wasted. So if I'm TSS right now, I'm feeling great. I feel like there's a small window of chance to lose a game, but I don't expect them to drop the ball that hard.
2 caps on Bazaar is a mountain to try and climb. G2 are the better team, in my opinion, in this series, but not looking like it on Bazaar CTF. So TSS have showed us a little bit of signs of life in these objectives, which make you, one, question the strength of G2's objective play, but more importantly, compliment what TSS is able to do in some of these games, right? They are efficiently playing these objective games. And with the slays that they had, that's what impressed me the most so far in that first Game 3. I'll be very impressed if they can carry that momentum, that level of slaying power for the second half of the second Game 3, this 8 minutes. And not only that, but they're going to need to do it in Game 4 in order to push this series the distance to that Game 5.
TSS is running and gunning. They are playing efficient Halo and winning game number 3, going into Street Strongholds. That's another game type where the efficiency pays off. So if we're seeing TSS, we're talking about their objective efficiency. They could be feeling good, right? If you win game 3 going to Stronghold Streets, not out of the woods just yet if you're G2.
No, I think, like you said, I think seeing the body disrespect, seeing the confidence out of Gilkey a little bit too soon, right? So
Maybe.
often have we seen in the past that those moments you start to look back and regret because it's bulletin board material, right? It's a little bit more emotion goes into the series, a little bit extra wake-up calls for the other team. How do you respond to that? Well, TSS has responded very well to the body disrespect, to the blatant disrespect of gameplay that we saw in Game 2. And now G2 and Gilk himself going to have to figure out a way to rebound, to refocus, to get back in the driver's seat of this series. Still up 2-0. Find themselves down 0-2 on Bazaar specifically, so likely to be a 2-1 series here with 8 minutes left on the clock. Players getting back into the lobby, fist bumps all around. TSS has to win this game to keep this series going.
Don't be so sure that TSS is going to lock in this win because G2, we talk about the opening start. If they come out strong with a quick punch, they can get a flag on the board. It's very doable. It's not completely out of the equation just yet. Of course, capture the flag on Bizarre. We talked about the OV and Rockets. Those are going to be the two main items to keep your eyes out for. As we're reloading into this, if you're just tuning in, TSS does have a 2-cap lead, so they will need only 3 to win this game, whereas G2 will need all 5 flags to get the clean sweep.
More importantly, the clock's at 8 minutes. Might sound like a lot of time, but it's not. So don't let that fool you. As that clock starts to dwindle down, we're not going to have a real-life timer, as it says 12 on the clock now. We'll have to keep track of it in our heads. It's not easy to do math live, but we're going to try and figure out how clutch of a moment these players are forced to play through in some of these opportunistic chances here, moments away now, as Sab has Bulldog in hand, trying to find a way to impact the opening strap, but unfortunately Overshield goes in the hands of TSS, Rockets go in the hands of TSS, and they continued their dominance so far for the Battle of Control.
3 members fall quickly for G2, and they are looking just like they did in the first game, already pulling the flag and putting the pressure on to G2. They're not looking to play defense. They got their foot on the gas pedal, and they want to make a statement.
Huss trying to impact this push. As Ace gets the fight through the double doors this time, he's going to jump it up. He has no shield. He's got pressure on him. They lose a couple. And oh no, Faisal, this could be a counter cap opportunity that gets G2 1 cap away from making this game a little bit more interesting.
Morley had a really important decision to make there. Do I go back and fight a 1v4, or do I just go for the OE and Ops to move forward with his team? Catches a Dynamo to the face. Down to 1 shot now, looking to just crouch here and try to get his shields back, but the flag is currently being pulled by G2, but good job out of TSS to do a full flip.
Good job by G2 to slay out their base. They read the play perfectly. Unfortunately, Gilkey still trying to move that flag. Needs a little bit of help. Mortally does some great damage on the 2 players in the middle of the map, but it's up to Mortally to stop this one. Unfortunately, doesn't have the ammo in his battle rifle to stop Gilk from getting it into the double doors, but there is a teammate still on Mortally's side to be able to try and help this return. Gilk in a massive one-on-one loses it. The return comes through, and TSS do it. Their defense, their overextension pays off.
What a great spawn for Sab there. Able to just get that grenade and get that 1-shot kill. Unfortunate for TSS, but once again, they are up 2-0 in this game. Perfect shots out of Sab to kill the Overshield players. The Overshield is down. Let's see who can pick it up. That's Ace.
Ace gets it, punches it into his chest, and another win condition removed from G2 Esports here.
Kills consistently on the side of TSS throughout this. Bizarre captures the flag. 3 members fall for G2. Ace trying to get some dynamos, picks them up, and just really doing a great job keeping the members of G2 at bay, not letting them push out, not letting the OE. They understand the importance of this game. Down 2-0, you got to win to stay alive in the series.
I like this play by Ace, passively playing the situation. Controlling the corner is such an effective strategy on Bizarre CTF, and right now Ace gets the first kill, and that's a big one because 3 more come through. G2 go all 4 down, and Ace looks to get a pull.
Flag taken.
4 fresh dead for G2, 2 right off spawn. As I say that, Ace does get taken down by some team shots. Gilkey with the kill, but Rocket's in the hands of Huss, and this is perfect for if you're TSS. You're getting kills, you're moving flags, you're not allowing G2 to be too aggressive. And remember, it was only 8 minutes to start the game, so only a few minutes left in this game before we see a game 4.
Great bait of the flag there by that player on G2 to... He knew a player was going to go for the touch. He just baits it perfectly, and that's allowed these kills to come through. Straight 6, able to kill yet another attempted flag runner, but TSS once again trading out so efficiently, getting a touch on the flag, and somehow Ace is back at the same flag he started to get another touch.
Speaking of Ace, look at the scoreboard. 10 kills again. He has been doing a great job, but triple kill out of Barcode. Maybe exactly what this G2 team needed to get some momentum in game number 3. They haven't been able to catch their stride at all this game, and we know what they can do when they're playing at the highest of their level. Gilkey now with OV working with Barcode, trying to make their way into TSS base. Good job getting the kill in the player bar. There's 3 more to deal with though, and all 3 fall for TSS. Make that 4 down, and Barcode is grappling his way over to the flag.
Barco gets the first flag on the move. They need 2 of them. And as time continues to dwindle right now, the flag getting to halfway is a massive chance. G2 need to cap this flag, in my opinion, to come back in this game to make it even a potential reality. As Barco continues to run it, a couple of slays going in G2's favor. It was a momentary 3 down for TSS, and this is going to do it. Barco's going to at least make this a 1-cap game.
Captured.
And not only did they cap the flag, but they kept control on the map. As soon as the flag was punched in, 3 members were down for a moment for TSS. So once again, 3 members down for TSS. So we could see a back-to-back flag cap situation, and what a heartbreaker that would be if you're TSS.
Not like this. You wondered if that reset was going to stall momentum, was going to affect them. Well, G2 have been playing immensely better here in the remake. They find themselves down now 1 cap as the clock continues to lower. I believe they're playing to the 4-minute mark here, so 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. Ignore the one on screen. Plenty of time to do it, but maybe not a ton of different pushes, so each one gonna matter. Here's G2 trying to tie this up.
Good kill on that player by Straightsake, but Mordley takes him down. 2 members fall for TSS. Barcode once again.
I've seen this movie.
That grapple and flag combination can be so deadly and effective. Barcode doing a great job, valuing his life, staying alive, understanding that he doesn't have much help from his team, but Super CC has something to say about that. This would be a big kill if he can get it, and he wins that fight. Big kill out of Super CC.
Barco fighting for his life right there. Every opportunity he could have given G2 to try and get that fire on the move. In the meantime, all of G2 goes down. Overshield in the hands of Ace. And who better than Ace to look for that overshield? He wants to be aggressive and push, but Barco comes off spawn, and he's starting to take over now at 12 kills. You see Mortally and Ace 16 and 13 respectively doing some work, but Barcode really creating opportunities to make this game a little bit closer.
And even though there's only 1 minute and 20 seconds left in regulation, we're seeing TSS continue to pull flags. We're seeing them continue to be aggressive, and we'll see if that bites them, because they only need to play defense if you really think about it. But I don't know if I disagree. I like the fact that they're playing aggressive. It's going to carry the momentum into the series, but you got to be careful.
Oh my God. Ace gets one, knocks another to no shield. Starting to really play his best Halo Infinite when it matters most right now against G2. Can't quite find the double, but every single kill you get with 50 seconds on the clock, Basil, delays an opportunity that G2 might take advantage of to tie this game up.
And really, this is the final push attempt for G2 as time is of the essence. Only 35 seconds left to go, and TSS will win this game. So you gotta get the kills, but you gotta stay alive when doing so. And unfortunately for Gilkey and some of the G2 members, they're not able to do that. Ace now just making sure his base is clean, working with Super CZ, and that's gonna do it, because there's only 20 seconds left and no member of G2 in a position to really get a flagpole.
You maybe get one more push. You maybe get one more opportunity here. We'll see if they can even advance on the map. Sab is going to be shotgun side of the map. He is going to be able to take down Huss, but with 9 seconds left, someone has got to get to the flag. Ace has a player below him, doesn't know it. And that player gets through. He gets a touch, and all of a sudden, if a round of slays occurs on the side of G2, they could tie this one up.
Big overshield grab out of Barco, but so unfortunate that Straightsake and Sab go down. That could have been very dangerous for the boys on TSS,
damage.
but Barco's still alive, doing damage, running this flag. The overshield got put to use, and they're gonna go for slays. 2 members fall.
3v2. Barco gets it through the doors. Nobody's here for TSS. He's unscathed. He gets it up, and Barco ties this one up. And regulation. Somehow, some way, G2 have done it in the last moments, the last potential push. G2 are able to capitalize.
Oh my God, we saw it in game number 1 when we thought, in round number 1, we thought TSS had it in the bag and they dropped the ball, and we're seeing it again. This looks like a constant theme for TSS on the biggest stage of the year. You're losing these pivotal moments, these pivotal fights, and it's costing you so much, as now Huss is in danger as well. 2 members fall for G2, but this flag is moving for TSS.
We're in sudden death overtime, ladies and gentlemen. 3 go down for G2. It's up to Sab to try and stop it. Not in a position, it looks like, to do any kind of serious damage to this flag. He eats a rocket, and that's going to do it. TSS get the flag through the doors. They get the slays, and although they gave up the 2-cap lead, they find themselves a successful cap in overtime that will push this series to a game 4.
That's the first time this series we've seen TSS get pushed back on, but still able to close out the game, right? So before, when they're in the lead, they're looking good, but as soon as G2 starts fighting back, it looks like TSS would fold. So that could be a very important moment in this series. The fact that they were able to come back and win this game number 3 after G2 somehow ties it up. Maybe we'll see a game 5 after all.
I think you still have to favor G2 going into game 4 with the life that they kind of brought that second half, that opportunity at a rematch in game 3. They came back and they outplayed TSS in that second side of game 3. So we'll see if that carries over or if there is some momentum to that overtime cap for TSS. That being said, to all the non-believers out there that thought that this was going to be a 3-0, TSS show up in game 3. They punch their ticket to a game 4. And as we take a look at the series layout, it's going to be street strongholds that we decide, is this series stopping here? Does the train go on to a game 5?
Yeah, and the way that TSS has been playing the objective games, I give them a really good shot to win this, right? G2 has been the favorite coming into this series, so you know they want to close out this game right here. Gilkey, maybe in the back of his mind, is thinking about those back smacks in game number 2, because go to game 5. Knees weak, palms are sweaty. You got to be careful. Game 5, anything can happen.
Anything can happen, right? And that's all Ace wants. That's all TSS fans wanted, is when you go up against a team like G2, a team you know that just got top 6, accolades on the players across the boards through the roof. Just get me to a game 5. Give me a chance at 50 kills, and let's let the players play. Who's going to step up here? But to get there, you have to outplay G2 and yet another objective. And that first one, or I guess the second, is Bizarre CTF is concerned. It looks great starting off. Can you find ways to gain map control to get the rockets in the overshield? Because that really was what they needed in order to find those advantages and that opportunity. The power up, power weapon story was all TSS in that game 3.
So Clutch, talk to me about street strongholds. What's the general meta? What are you trying to accomplish to win the game?
It's all about the Bulldog shotgun, in all honesty. The rockets, they impact every now and then, but whoever controls that Bulldog and the Stalker, the DPS with those, the ammo count and those weapons, they allow you to take over longer periods of games rather than just a quick 2 kills that a rocket launcher can give you. I'm really looking at to see which players can find themselves successful with the Stalker rifle, with the Bulldog shotgun, because if they find success, they're going to give their team continuous opportunities of man advantages where you're able to push the potential double cap, trip cap situations. Obviously, the name of the game is Strongholds. You need points, not kills, but those kills create so much space and opportunity for you to really take over. Can TSS do it is the big question. Can they control those weapons again? Or are G2 going to catch on to, hey, the reason we lost game 3 was because we allowed so much power to swing in their favor?
And a big part of that TSS winning game 3 was Ace. We talked about him. He's had success in this city. Historically, he is playing very well, and that's what we expect out of a player like Ace. He is a veteran. He's proved it time and time again that he plays his best Halo when it matters most, and that game 3 was when it mattered a lot.
I saw MIA posters all around downtown Seattle looking for him because he hasn't had a big year so far in Halo Infinite, and you thought, is this the end of Ace's career? Is this where the downfall of one of the greatest players to ever do it, right? I mean, he has so many accolades for such a long period of time, and it always feels like Ace's career has ebbs and flows, and he's always been able to get out of those low points and really rise to the occasion and find himself yet on top of the pinnacle once again, into at least the top 4, top 6. He spent a majority of his career going up and down. He found himself at a very low place at some point where he was getting dropped from teams that you didn't expect to, but as we launch into game 4, Ace looks like a completely different beast here so far in this series. He has played very well, and I can't wait to see if he can take his team to a game 5.
We got Barcode on the screen, picks up rockets, no damage, and able to get out of there, hops into tires. 2 members fall for TSS. A great start for G2.
Great start for Straight 6, 3 to his name at the start of a game. A player that you know can take over. We're looking for him to do that in one of the big series, but right now needing to find a way to close the door on TSS. Could become a big series very quickly if they lose this game.
Good use of the rockets out of Barcode. Once again, 2 members fall for TSS. Quick control. on the side of G2 as they try to regain control of this A stronghold. They already have B. That arcade area is going to be very important, the focal point of the map. We talked about how an A and C stronghold setup is a bit unorthodox, so most teams will try to really focus on that B stronghold.
It's B and C for right now for TSS. Not great positioning from G2, but if they're able to stay alive, this could be a big opportunity for an AC hold. Nobody really there to deny A from being transferred over, so they're going to make their way over to B, I expect, after capturing C. And that's exactly the play. We'll see where the slays lie as we see Straight Sick approaching this B stronghold. I don't expect them to get it for free.
3 members of TSS in this PD court area, so an opportunity for Straight Sick and the boys on G2 to collapse, but good job by TSS spreading around the map, giving themselves a little bit more real estate. They got to try to focus on converting back one of these strongholds. We'll see if they opt to go for for C or B. It looks like they're going for the B push. 2 members fall for G2. This could be an opportunity for TSS.
You saw Straight Six try to slow it down. TSS take advantage of that. They get great timing. They find an easy pick on the Straight Six there in a 2v1 situation, and that's right as Rockets are coming up. They flip the map back in their favor, and they have the advantage here to compete for Rockets.
Neck and neck here in game number 4. Barcode has the Rockets, picks up a kill. Gilkey gets one of his own. 2 fresh dead with the Bulldog in his hands, trying to make his way over towards this B stronghold. Taking damage.
Good shot in the back. Left that player though. He has his eyes set on B. He's able to capture it, but at what cost? Because Mortally finds himself a double ace. Gets taken down as well, and as you think TSS get a couple of kills in B, they hop in the stronghold, and that's exactly where TSS were able to grenade them out, or I'm sorry, G2 were, and because of it, they're able to keep B, they're able to start capturing A, and although this game is close momentarily, you have to favor how G2 is playing it, in my opinion.
Barco putting that Bulldog to use, just overall playing his life so well. Gets 2 before going down. 3 members fall for G2. Gilkey last one alive, and scoreboard is still very close, neck and neck, constant back and forth out of both of these teams.
We talked about the power weapons being the name of the game. What can Huss do now that he has the Stalker and the Bulldog in his hands? The 2 weapons we highlighted coming into this, needs to find some impact with these weapons on the outcome of this game. I like this backup by him though. You need to play it smart, more importantly. And overextending right there would have just costed you your life.
Big kill right here. Huss not able to stay alive, and Sab makes him pay, and just because of that one death, the control's going to completely flip, and now G2 able to get B. Now Sab making his way over to A, looking for the trip cap, but we know how dangerous that can be, Clutch.
What a heads-up play by Sab right there, and he's even going to pick up this kill into A. Sab didn't just go into B and start capturing. Sab pushed past B because he knew a player had to be around there. Ends up getting the advantage, removing the Bulldog shotgun from Huss's hands. And now G2 have control because Sab made that play.
But as you say that, Clutch, a couple big kills on the side of TSS. It allows Super CC to hop in this B stronghold, and once again, back and forth is the name of this game number 4. Neither team able to break away.
What a great job by TSS to respond to a lot of the plays G2 have been able to make in favorable positions. They have Rockets in hand, but they're able to get the kills. So although TSS lose the battle for Rockets, they don't care. They slay out, they get 3 down. And if they can hop into A, this could turn into a trip cap very quickly.
And you know G2 is going to quickly try to convert C, and it's just a circle, right? We're seeing both teams fall into the same mistakes and try to capitalize. And so far, TSS making the plays they need to as they've gained the lead here, 79-65, but neither team able to really establish dominance. And Straight Sick hops in B. 4 members fall for TSS, and this could be danger.
They tried to defend all 3 when they got the trip cap. They lose all 3, and now they find themselves in a trip cap situation. They spawn in tram, and it's a very difficult position now with pressure from the front. Straight Sick does a good job. Get in, do some damage, get out. A great job by him. Can he stay alive here? Huss finds himself a double, but in the meantime, an AP hold for G2 will give them the lead by 20.
Good job by Ace taking down Straight Sick. He could have been a big problem as G2 looking to keep the momentum that they gained in the last minute or so based off of that triple cap. Barcode hops into C. And once again, we talked about the unorthodox AC stronghold. We're going to see Barcode now rotate over to B.
Yeah, it's a matter of how did TSS decide to play it. They're going to lose B. Can they get a stronghold in the meantime, though? Can they get some kills? Because right now they need to. Super CC and Huss find 1 before he's getting taken down. And now it's a 2v2 situation. Sab trying to pressure tower, but He's going to opt to try and defend C as well, so the impact that Sab has on the map right now is absolutely massive, with both A and C being affected. Unfortunately, good damage onto the first. He loses his life, and with that, TSS find an opening.
Rockets in the hands of Super CC, gets taken down. B stairs, big kill by Gilkey. Makes his way over to B stairs to pick up those rockets, and now he's gonna move over to C.
That's the play from Gilk. They remove rockets. It's an overextension from CC, and because of it, now Gilk with rockets trying to push a trip cap himself. He's gonna flip respawners though, so he needs to get this kill quickly and get into C because they will start to lose A.
Gil choosing to leave C altogether, trying to make his way over to A, and I don't know if I like the plays there out of Gilkey, wasting both rockets and just completely ignoring C, moving bottom middle towards A, and that could be costly.
He had a teammate behind him though. Straight Stick was able to capture C, so they try to do a lot at once and try to min-max in that situation. It's Gilk's responsibility to try and defend A. He wasn't able to, but in the meantime, it was Straight Stick that was able to get C. Unfortunately, because Gilk goes down, it made their hold for B a little bit weaker, and because of that, TSS take B. And you're seeing the pressure back onto B from G2. Pure chaos going down in the arcade right now. We'll see who comes out on top. Whoever does will continue to score, but I mean, Faisal, if you take a look at the score, it's up over almost 100 now. G2 winning the scrappy fight significantly since this game was close.
And the slays aren't too lopsided on either team. It's just the efficiency and the objective, and the rotations are on point on the side of G2. They do not want to go to a game 5 against this TSS
that
roster.
That hit all 4 players.
That grenade did a whole lot of damage as Super CC and the boys of TSS rotating, trying to gain their footing, trying to get some control back in this game number 4.
What a grenade. Worth its value so much that every TSS player was rocked from it to at least half shield, and because of that, it's given them such little to work with. G2 flipped the map again, and they're going to try and pressure C and push this trip cap towards the ending moments of this game. It's 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Sab picks up the rockets. In the meantime, they're going to be able to get C, and with rockets in the hands of Sab, I don't know how you get out of this trip cap.
Perfect execution out of G2, making TSS play from their heels, and it's been a tough task for TSS. It's been a tall order this whole series. Unfortunate circumstances causing problems on the side of TSS, and 243 and counting. This one looks like a blowout, and it looks like G2, after a rocky game number 3, will try to close this one out, but C is currently being converted as Barcode just hops on over to A.
Good play by Barcode. Perfect shot with the Stalker. Immediately makes his way to A, understanding the overextension from TSS was the plan. He ruins that plan. He then takes A from them. 3 players, last players alive, last lives they get to live here on the server in this series. You would think, as TSS do end up winning the battle of the Slays, a great bait and switch opportunity to keep them in this momentarily, but I mean, constant pressure right now being applied by G2. It's only a matter of time.
And this final push for G2 will be over towards this B stronghold, towards Arcade. If they win these slays, this game and this series will be over. Barcode hopping into the stronghold. Husk gets the first slay though, so good start for TSS. 3 members fall fresh for G2, so trying to keep this one alive, but all it takes is one good push for G2, and this one will be over. But the trip cap currently in effect. Oh, actually, no, the C has not been converted just yet, so no trip cap, but good job out of TSS.
So you're saying there's a chance. 20 seconds for rockets. Can you get a couple of slays, turn that into rocket control, get another set of slays? You need a trip cap, in my opinion.
You need a miracle.
115, you need a miracle, you need a trip cap, and you probably need a 5th player in Faisal to guide the troops at this point. We're not going to get any of that, I don't think, but we'll entertain it as it slows down for just a moment. G2 Esports knowing that it'll take 1 set of slays to end this game.
Slays are the name of the game right now, as Ace gets the first one on the side of TSS. Husk gets one as well. Big kill out of Barcode. I doubt he'll be able to get, actually, as I say that, this B Stronghold is being converted, and there it is. The B Stronghold is converted, and G2 take game number 4 and win the series. When things were looking scary, we were doubting G2. We were thinking, will this go to a game 5? But G2 says, no way. Jose, we're shutting this down right now.
I did like how they slowed it down there. They understood their win condition. It was 1 set of slays. Let's prioritize rockets. Once we secure those rockets, those slays will come through, and we'll be able to end this game in this series in what was a little bit closer than G2 fans, G2 players would have probably thought going in. TSS showed up, showed out. Wasn't enough, obviously, to push us to a Game 5, win the series outright, but some positive things to take away as they look onward as to their most important series later on against Fnatic.
Yeah. And if you're G2, you're feeling good. You don't have to worry about any upsets happening. You don't have to worry about your spot in the bracket later on in this tournament. You get to play. Yeah, you get to play. You did what you needed to do, and they look good in a lot of aspects. I think there is some team talks to be had later tonight to make sure that they're prepared going into the bracket play. But again, we've said it a few times already in this cast, but they got top 6 at Orlando. They are a force to be reckoned with. And I want to take a look at the series layout to remind everyone how this match went down. And it was all G2 in the start. But that Game 3 really made us scratch our heads and question, like, can this TSS roster continue their objective efficiency into Game 4? But really, I think that reset kind of messed with their flow as well, because even though they won Game 3, I think G2 played a better reset game, even though kind of TSS was able to close it out.
Completely agree. I think they lost a lot of momentum there, and what potentially could have poured on to Game 4. I think G2 was able to, even though they lost Game 3 in the reset, still they pushed it to an overtime. They made it interesting, and that removed probably what would have been a lot of confidence from TSS going into Game 4. Not saying they would have won this series. Taking a look at the scores, Faisal, it doesn't look close. The 3 games that G2 won look like they were significant wins. But let me tell you, that game, that series was a winnable series on the side of TSS. They'll be kicking themselves, but they'll also want another chance at G2 potentially later on when bracket play starts.